I'm Emily from Homemade Emily Jane. Welcome to my sewing room. Today I'm going to share with you my favorite sewing machine accessories used in quilting. I've been quilting for quite a few years now, so I've had some time to perfect which accessories I love to use, and I'm going to share those with you today. If you love any of these accessories as well, be sure to leave a comment below to let me know. The first sewing machine accessory that I absolutely cannot live without is actually used for piecing and patchwork, and that is a 1/4 inch foot. A 1/4 inch foot like this one used for piecing and patchwork actually is super helpful and helps you get that perfect 1/4 inch seam. If you want more information on how to get a perfect 1/4 inch seam, check out this video linked above right here. The next sewing machine accessory I want to share with you today are actually sewing machine needles. Regardless of what you're sewing, it's very important that you're using the right needle for the project that you're working on. Typically with quilting, I will use a medium weight woven cotton fabric, a quilting cotton. So that means that I would need the necessary needles. For piecing, I like to use somewhere between a 70 and 75 needle. And then for quilting, I'll use somewhere between a 75 and an 80 needle. These are some good ones that you can check out. These are 75 used specifically for quilting. Another amazing accessory that can be useful for piecing as well as quilting is a multifunction foot control. So typically a foot pedal that comes with your machine will adjust speed and nothing else. So if you press down on the foot pedal harder, it goes faster. If you let up, it goes slower. But a multifunction foot control enables you to adjust lots of other functions on your machine using your foot. Let me tell you about a multifunction foot control. Depending on your specific sewing machine manufacturer, you might have an option for one of these. The beauty of a multifunction foot control is that you can control your machine hands-free, keeping your hands available to work on controlling the project at your sewing machine. The multifunction foot control that I use is by Husqvarna Viking, and it was made specifically to work with the machines that I use. And it's programmable so that I can put in for exactly which features I want it to control. So it has 3 different levers that I can program each one, and the 3 that I chose to use are reverse stitch, fixing my stitch, and also cutting my threads, because those are typically the buttons that I will stop to press the most often. If you have a different sewing machine manufacturer, there's a good chance your manufacturer makes a similar product, but it might not be exactly the same. So check with your dealer to find out what options are available to you. Another neat feature that some machines have and others don't is a knee lift, and that actually enables you to use your knee to lift the presser foot of your machine instead of having to stop what you're doing and use your hands to push the button. So the big thing here is being able to use your machine in ways that don't involve moving your hands, so you can keep your hands on the sewing project that you're working on. Now, moving more into quilting specific accessories for your sewing machine, one thing that I absolutely cannot live without is a walking foot with a guide bar. A walking foot like this actually has feed on the bottom that feed the top layer of your fabric through at the same pace as the feed dogs on your machine, therefore making sewing multiple layers of fabric much easier. The guide bar is actually adjustable. You can move how far away it is, and you can use it to sew straight lines that are equally distanced apart. I use my walking foot every time I'm quilting straight lines, and the guide bar is particularly helpful as well. One of my other favorite quilting machine accessories is an extension table. So mine for my Epic machine looks like this, and it slides into my machine, and it provides all of this extra space to the left of the needle that enables me to have a flat surface while quilting. Some people do have special sewing machine tables that their machine drops into, and then it provides the whole table as a flat surface. However, I like being able to switch out whether I'm using the extension table or just having a free arm if I'm starting to sew something tinier or want to work on a garment. Having an extension table like this one is super helpful when quilting because it gives lots of flat space to work with, especially if you're doing free motion quilting. The final quilting accessory I want to share with you are actually quilting gloves. Mine are a little bit stained from years of use, but they still work just fine. The purpose of quilting gloves is that it has a sticky surface at the tips and helps me guide the quilt through the machine much easier than if I'm just using my bare hands. When I use my bare hands to guide the quilt through the machine, I find I end up using a lot more strength in my shoulders and hunching up a bit, which is horrible for my posture. So using something grippy like quilting gloves helps me be more relaxed as I'm quilting. You can use quilting gloves similar to mine, and I'll link them in the description below. Or I've actually heard quilters that use other grippy glove alternatives such as brand new clean gardening gloves. So find some that work for you and you will notice worlds of difference when feeding your quilt through your machine. Thanks so much for watching this video all about sewing machine accessories for quilting. I hope you learned something new and maybe found out about a new accessory that you don't already have. If you want more quilting tutorials and tips and tricks, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also check out homemadeemilyjane.com. Be sure to drop a comment below, just say hi or let me know which accessories you plan to get in the future.